What's up, bud? It's Rob. This is Apparel Success. And if you don't know who I am, I run a Canadian clothing brand called K-Bud that's doing well into the six figures in sales. So I help clothing brands like yours get really good results. And there's a bit of a trigger warning in this video for those of you running print-on-demand clothing brands, because I want to talk to you about why 99% of startup print-on-demand clothing brands fail. And what I have to share with you in this video may or may not apply to you watching this, but I really want to get in front of you here, share this message with you so that if this does apply to you, if this is something that you're experiencing as a print-on-demand clothing brand, or even if you're thinking about it, you'll have this in the back of your mind and you'll be able to adjust and get around it and run your clothing brand properly. So here it is. Apparel Success is sponsored by my buds over at Design Crowd. And if designs are something that you struggle with, I recommend that you try them out. These designs absolutely slay on my website, and I got them all made through Design Crowd. If you're interested, head over to designcrowd.com/apparel to learn about the special offer that I have for you, or just use the discount code apparel when you post a project on Design Crowd. All right, cutting straight to the point here. The reason why 99% of startup print-on-demand clothing brands fail, and remember, I'm saying 99%, so you may be the 1% that's not like this. The reason why 99% of them fail is because they're way too money-oriented. The only reason why their clothing brand exists is to make money for the clothing brand owner. And when you're oriented in this way, you end up cutting corners, and it almost becomes like this get-rich-quick scheme. Now, like I said, this may not be like you. You may be a different type of print-on-demand clothing brand that's not just focused on making money, but the way that you want to be oriented with your clothing brand is oriented in a way where you're just trying to build the best brand possible. When your focus is not on the money and your focus is on building the best brand possible and creating the best experience for your customer, I know this sounds kind of corny. It literally becomes an amazing clothing brand that everybody wants to buy. When your focus is on building the best brand possible, you're making a brand that's worth buying, that people are going to actually be interested in. So let's take an honest look at what print-on-demand is for a second. And I promise you, I'm not purposely trying to crap on print-on-demand here, but I just want to really illustrate this point. What are the pros and cons of print-on-demand? The pros, the advantages of running a print-on-demand clothing brand is that number one, it eliminates all the risk. So you don't have to invest upfront in inventory. You don't have to invest in a machine to print all your stuff or into garments that you're holding on to. Anytime an order comes in, it's just being printed and it's being sent out. It's also going to eliminate basically all of the work that you have to do. You don't have to package any orders. You don't have to ship out any orders when they come in. And so the upside is so enticing for people who are only wanting to do this for money because it sounds super easy in your head. It sounds really great. Now, what are you sacrificing by going the print-on-demand route? You're sacrificing actually having full control over your shipping times and being able to ship out products the way that you want, package them, and quality check all of the products for your clothing brand, which is so unbelievably important. Knowing what the product actually looks like before it gets sent out, knowing how it's going out and when it's going to get to your customers in a quick time frame. And so if you take an honest look at what print-on-demand really is, a natural quality of it is that it's going to be lacking in these areas that matter most to your clothing brand and to your customers. And so my honest thoughts on print-on-demand is that I think the print-on-demand business type is really great for influencers and celebrities that want to come out with a merch store. The reason why I believe that it's good as a merch store is because customers don't place the same expectations on merch stores as they do for legitimate clothing brands. Like if I were to order a t-shirt from my favorite YouTuber in their website, I wouldn't expect that it would be here in like 2 days and come in a box with stickers and a note to the customer or anything like that. I just expect like it'd be like a stock t-shirt with their design on it, and that's like all that I'm ordering. That's all that I'd expect. I wouldn't get mad, at the YouTuber for not having a better process in place or handling the customer support better. But clothing brands, like if you're staging your clothing brand in a way where it's supposed to be this legit brand, and people are ordering off your website and you're a print-on-demand store and your shirts are showing up like 30 days later and there's no customization in anything, the garments just kind of look like stock products, and it took long to get there, and you just kind of have this experience like this wasn't really a legit clothing brand. They're just printing designs on t-shirts and shipping it to you. If that's the sort of firsthand experience that every single customer is getting, then it's pretty hard to build a brand that lasts over time doing that with every single customer that's ordering. It's also pretty tricky to build a story and history into your brand if all that your brand ever was this internet thing where you're just trying to sell t-shirts through a website and that's all that it ever was. Like if your brand doesn't have any grounding in the real world of, maybe a story of how it all started and, where it all, how you all started working on it and building it and started selling to friends and things like that, it's really tough to sort of create that legit brand feeling where this thing was actually meaningful from the beginning. Now, there is the 1% of print-on-demand brands that really know what they're doing. They're focused on building the best brand possible, and they're really trying their best to take care of all these different aspects and create the best experience for their customers possible. So I hope that if you are a print-on-demand clothing brand, you're hearing this, you don't just automatically get sour over everything that I'm telling you, but you really recognize the importance of building a brand that people really want, where you're creating the best experience possible, because the longevity of your brand, you being able to do this for multiple years and create a solid experience for your customers again and again consistently over the years is the most important part of your brand in order to keep those repeat customers, in order to keep your brand going into the future and continuously build that brand equity, right? Because if you're just trying to make a quick buck and almost all of your customers' experiences are that they're not receiving their packages on time, things are coming in kind of sloppy, things are printed wrong and things like that because there's no quality checking happening, then you're really going to run into some issues later down the road that could really screw up your brand entirely. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, I'm running this print-on-demand business and maybe I don't want to be relying on these print-on-demand companies as much and I want to do this a legit way and really give my customers that best experience possible, I think that the best solution for this is to do everything in-house for a while, make some clothing where you're actually packing it, giving your customers that like firsthand experience that's coming directly from your company. And then you can kind of evolve into what I've evolved to, where you're working with a fulfillment company closely and they're basically doing everything that you were doing, where you were packing all the orders, making everything custom, but instead of you doing it yourself, they're doing it. So that's a very big difference between print on demand, because what print on demand is basically you don't really know what the hell is going on. You don't know who's packing your orders, what they're doing, and it's just kind of going out whenever and things like that. Well, with my drop shipping system that I work with, which is a company that I partnered with, I work with them very closely. I know exactly how they're packing all of the orders. I know that they're going out basically the next day and that they're going to arrive in my customers' hands within like 2 to 6 business days. And I know this because I can follow it all. I'm in close contact with them and they send me videos all the time of all this stuff going out. And it's just such a different dynamic than having sort of just like a random website do it for you. But that's why most print on demand businesses fail. And to be honest, that's why most businesses fail, is that they're just focused on making money and they're not focused on creating the best products possible. This is why Elon Musk is absolutely dominating with Tesla, is like, this guy's so focused on the engineering and truly creating the best cars he possibly can that the quality of the engineering these other companies can't keep up with because they're just focused on efficiency and making as much money as possible. And you got Elon Musk, this dude who's like super passionate about creating like the best experience possible for the customers that he doesn't even have to put out any commercials. It's all word of mouth because the cars are just that good. There's another example of this with an airplane company, I forget which one it was, where they switched their mission statement from trying to make the best planes possible to they were trying to like appeal to their investors. And so they were like, we're trying to make the best, most efficient business possible for, our investors or something like that. Their mission statement changed and they got away from trying to create the best planes possible and they started collapsing. Their business basically went to a hole in the ground. And it's because they weren't focused on making great planes anymore. And that's what you need to do with your clothing brand. Is you really need to focus on making the best clothing brand you possibly can. And when that's your sole focus, it actually becomes pretty easy to make this work for you. Like when all that you are focused on is creating the best experience for your customers, the money kind of comes as a side effect of that. And, you know, I think that that's such a simple understanding of business, and that's how it really should be. But it's so easy to forget because we get so focused on making money, becoming these successful entrepreneurs. And if you just focus on, you know, building an amazing brand, building an amazing business that's offering a real product that has real value, you know, it tends to come back to you. So that was the message of this video. And, you know, I know if you're running a print on demand business, I didn't mean to hurt any feelings here, but I really needed to share my honest thoughts on this because I just see so many of these print on demand businesses, and I can just tell that all they're focused on is making money, and it's just not going to work for you at the end of the day. So hopefully this gets you oriented more in the right way. I hope you got a lot of value out of this video. If you did, please hit the like button for me and let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. And if you haven't already, check out my free clothing brand marketing masterclass. All you have to do to get access is go to apparelsuccess.com/masterclass, and you can watch the whole thing for free. And if you've made it to this point in the video, I want to tell you about the closed Facebook group that we have for Apparel Success. There's a link in the description. Follow that link, join us in the group, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.